Welcome to episode 16 of Think Like a Predator. I'm Feather214, but you can call me Feather, and this is my ongoing tutorial series for Predator Hunting Grounds, where I take a hunting match that I've already completed as a Predator, and will narrate the game as I explain my strategies along the way. So this is the map with the cave excavation. I already threw my motion detector. Whenever I do start off in this map, I like to at least throw like one motion detector somewhere in the cave in case it brings the fire team in here, because the cave can get tricky, especially with, you know, a good fire team. You don't really have a high vantage point most of the time. There are holes at the top of the cave that you can try to jump in from, but it's a lot harder to keep track of the fire team if you don't have some motion detectors in there. So if I start off there, I like to do a little prep work there before I hunt down the fire team. So I got out, and the fire team was already close by. So I'm going to sit here and watch them a little bit. I'm playing one of my loadouts that has a net gun. This is the hunter, one of my hunter predators with the tracker specialization. So every time I use target isolation, it will work every time, even if they're all covered in mud. Also, just a heads up, this particular match, it's another match where my PlayStation recording cuts out a couple times, and unfortunately it actually cuts out near the end at a very vital part. So here I got a guy all by himself. I'm going to take advantage, get him with the net gun. He spotted me. You saw that blue grid behind me? That's them shooting their little motion detectors that they have to try to see where I was at. Or to try to keep me permanently spotted in there. But luckily I got the claim and got away in time. This is a pretty good fire team in this match. They've got a couple good spotters. But yeah, also here I am practicing a new piece of gear that I never use. I'm experimenting with the audio decoys. So I threw one over there, and they're shooting their motion detectors all around it. So it's good because they're wasting their motion detectors on that audio decoy because they think they hear me nearby. So that's a really good perk to an audio decoy. It can get people to use up some of their resources. You hear that roar? That's just the audio decoy. They're shooting all around it. They really think I'm over there. They don't know that it's a decoy, so that's good. They're using up some ammo. They're using up their motion detectors, and they have no idea where I'm gonna come from next. But yeah, as I was saying, oh, and right here I'm also just kind of, I don't like going into a group of a fire team. I'm sure if you've been watching my episodes, you've noticed that already. I like to see if I can split them up or wait for someone to drift off from the pack, even just far enough or long enough that I can take advantage. I threw a motion detector on top of the building they're in so that I can keep track of them, take advantage of the first person to split away. As I was saying, my recording of my PlayStation threw another audio decoy over there so that they don't know to look over here. My PlayStation recording is faulty this episode, and unfortunately this episode kind of gets down to the wire. It's kind of a I kind of have a little Hail Mary moment at the end, and the footage cuts out. I'm gonna have to slow it down at the end, basically. Alright, so chasing the fire team here. I know that they've already shown signs of being a pretty aware fire team, so I went in, threw a heavy hit, and then backed off, doing a lot of what I like to do, just kind of in and out. I had already leaped, and they shot out another motion detector because they knew I was trailing them. So I just kind of jumped right into that one. If I had seen that little grid before I leaped, I wouldn't have leaped. But since I was leaping right into it, I threw another hit, ran away again. And now they're getting into their next location for whatever their next objective is. And so I know, like, I should have at least a few minutes. So I'm gonna heal here. Fire team shouldn't be going anywhere. This guy's butting up. I wished I had already had my axe, but I didn't, so that was a kind of a missed opportunity to just, you know, chip away a little bit more on them. But that's alright. I'm going to throw another motion detector on that building, but that was kind of a bad spot for a motion detector. But it's better than nothing. They're going to be wandering around this area. I missed that swing, trying to lay down the heavy on this person. And going in for the claim, I got pretty much full health when I killed them, so usually that's worth it. Now we're down to 2 fire team members. Saw a guy run over here. I want to be sure not to lose them, but then you see that little red indicator up there. Somebody crossed my motion detector, but I was also running right next to this guy. Almost took advantage of him being all by himself, but his teammate rallied on him pretty quick. So they run back into that building. I leap over there to follow them. Yeah, see, that time I avoided it, saw it, but they were looking back and spotted me anyway. Pretty good spotters on this team, those 2 guys. And they're calling for reinforcements, so I just go in hard. And honestly, if I wasn't parried there, good on them for parrying me. I honestly wasn't expecting it. Maybe I should have just lit them up with the plasma caster or something, but or used the net gun on both of them. But I decided to just go in there hard, and I paid for it. Sometimes it pays off though. Like I said, they had a really clutch parry there, so that saved them and bought them all the 1 or 2 seconds they needed to get their reinforcements.
Grab some ammo.
So, luckily for me, they came back into this area where I was healing from second wind, so I didn't need to like go track them down or anything. But I leaped away. They spotted me somehow immediately. I was standing right there, completely invisible. I am crouched here. You don't need to crouch to be completely invisible. You just need to stand still. But I'm crouched because I am concealing my footsteps. I was about to capitalize on that guy being by himself, but I heard his fire team coming up right behind me. So I just immediately had to retreat from that decision. But time is dwindling. We're down to about 7 minutes. Getting a little more ballsy here, so to speak. I need to take what I can get. They hit me with something that took away all my stamina. I don't know what it was, but so right there I was kind of just stuck, kind of jogging around. Couldn't cloak, couldn't leap. Now I'm in here just determined, like I said, to claim somebody. Trying to get this person with the net gun so that they can't put any damage on me. Now they don't really know where I am. So I'm just going in with the axe. They're all by themselves. I was expecting the fire team to be around, but when I wasn't taking any other damage, I realized they were by themselves. So now they've called in their chopper. I knew this was coming up soon. I said a couple videos ago, when you get down to 8 minutes, it's really, you got to treat it more like you got like 3 minutes left, if that. Um, so I don't even know if we hit 6 minutes by the time the chopper came up in this game. So game's on the line. I have to go in there and rush. I know I had enough time to heal up. I was already kind of close to the choppers, so I'm kind of looking, seeing if I can have them all scanned so I don't lose them. And then just going in. I went in with the heavy, downed a guy already, and this is where I have to slow it down. Right about here. Okay, the camera's gonna cut out, but right here I come in with the heavy and down. And the camera's about to cut out right there. Cut. So that whole 5 seconds we missed, yes, 5 whole seconds is me chasing down this last guy, and he's probably crapping his pants because he's like, oh man, wasn't expecting us all to get wiped here at the end. Yeah, you did. Give me that skull. So, really wish the recording didn't cut out there. It's like the climax of the entire match. But yeah. You know, sometimes not all matches are going to be smooth and go the way you want them to. You just got to keep your head in the game. And if you have to rush at the end, do it. Do what you got to do. This game, it benefited me to have the axe. And on my next game, episode 17, I will find myself in a similar situation, but use a different weapon. I won't have the axe in that one. So, we'll see how that one goes. I'll catch you next time.